Less searching and more being. Less mind activity and more awareness of the space that holds this moment. What's up, everyone? My name is Morsi, and if you're new to this channel, I encourage others to live with effortless ease. And today, I would like to talk to you all about the joy of being. The joy of simply being alive, not having to do anything to feel accomplished or like you achieved something, to feel joy or to feel peace, not having to follow a certain belief, fit in with a certain label, but simply being, simply sitting in silence and recognizing the aliveness that comes from the depth of this moment. Because often we are influenced by this collective thought energy. We hear it when we turn on the television. We are influenced by it when we log on to social media. This idea that we have to search for something that we already are, to search for something that we already have. And when we are in this constant state of searching, we're on the go. We are more focused on getting from point A to point B. We're more focused on finishing and ending. We're more focused on what we receive from the finish. But we're not focused on the space that lies in between that. We consider it a means to an end. The space that's in between these moments right here, it's considered a means to an end. And when we fall into that mind stream, we ultimately miss out on being. We miss out on the joy of being because we're so focused on feeling this accomplishment and this joy from finishing. When ultimately, once you finish, you're just like, all right, I'm done. What's next? It's not enough. Trying to feel that sense of joy and fulfillment from finishing something, it'll never be enough. If you've ever wanted something really bad, you finally got it, and then you ended up wanting more, recognize that as the ego, the unobserved mind, the conditioned mind. We are not influenced, we're not encouraged to observe thought. We're not encouraged to slow down for a bit and really get the sense of this moment. Ultimately, to many people, to even think about the space that holds this moment is bizarre. It's weird. It's delusional. It's all peace and love. There's already a label attached to it. So people, they don't want to go in that adventure. Let's work. Let's hustle. And you know what? There's nothing wrong really with that. It's only this idea of trying to find a sense of identity from accomplishing and achieving. And that's when we end up in this circle, this loop, never-ending loop. I found that during this time of social distancing, I have experienced the joy of being at a much deeper level and a much expanded perspective of it. In simple moments, me in the morning, sitting on my bed, journaling, while I'm looking at my cat, simply just being, sleeping, the cutest thing ever. Sometimes when you look at animals, it's very easy to get back into the present moment because they're so naturally themselves. I noticed that I can have these thoughts going through my mind, through my mental field, everything that I need to do, everything I need to accomplish, driving me insane. But then when I turn and I look at my cat, it does bring me back to the present because my cat is completely present. There's no thoughts that go through an animal's mind. They're just there. in the moment, being. They're living. Your pets aren't searching for anything. They're just alive in this moment. So when I sit back and I acknowledge the space that this moment holds, I realize that I don't want to search for anything because I've experienced that. We've all experienced that, right? You can think about a time when you felt like you needed to be somewhere. You may even feel that way too. Like you need to be doing better in your career. Like you should be married by now. You should have kids by now. You should have a house by now. Your job should be set. All of those expectations, all of those societal rules, it covers up the space that truly holds the aliveness, that gives us that joy that we are entitled to. We are entitled to that feeling as long as you stop for a second, slow down, and acknowledge the space that holds this moment. Not even this moment, even while I speak. Instead of feeling as though you need to hear what I'm about to say next, enjoy the space in between the sentences. Enjoy the space between my first sentence and the next. Be there. Be comfortable in it. Same with your thoughts. Acknowledge and be aware of the space between each of your thoughts and just be there. This small little example, it came to me as I was journaling. I had a question, right? I wrote down the question. I like to have questions and intentions while I journal. And I stopped after that question and I sat there in that moment and I enjoyed that moment. And in that moment that I enjoyed it, I felt the aliveness. The answer came to me simply because I was being, not because I was searching for a sign, trying to find some synchronicity. I was there, alive, aware of that moment. And small little moments like that, I can take and mirror it to a much larger perspective and think about life and think about how we're told to search and search and search. Thich Nhat Hanh, he is a spiritual teacher. I hope I said his name right. I'll put his picture right here. He has this quote that really touched me. And it goes along the lines of, happiness comes from all directions. But when we're only looking in a certain direction, we miss out from the happiness that is coming everywhere towards us. And that is so true. I felt within this time of social distancing, in the beginning, I felt pressure. I felt pressure to put out more videos. I felt pressure to step up and do a little bit more. And that pressure, it only made me feel like I wanted to crawl back into my own turtle shell and not do anything because I wasn't ready yet. So I decided to just be for a moment. I didn't give myself any goals. Just for a while, I chose not to have any goals. And I said, I'm just gonna be. I'm gonna enjoy this moment and detach from all labels. Whatever label I'd given myself, whatever idea that I wanted myself to be, I just wanted to enjoy living. And that could be the practice of no self, the practice of impermanence, and just being and understanding that every moment is not the same. So just being in that moment. And in that moment, there was a lot of insight that came to me. I felt like a much deeper intelligence spoke through me. Presence spoke to me as I was writing in my journal, as I was doing just things I wanted to do. No schedule, no mind-made concepts, just me. And it was recognizing the joy is always there when we choose to be still, when we choose to acknowledge this moment and recognize you are not waiting for anything. You are living. And so when you get out of this state of needing to search, that's when you begin to just be. And in that moment where you don't feel like you need to be something, to be someone, to stand out, to be special, You recognize the power of the workings of the universe. You are naturally flowing, and you see that you are a part of something much bigger, something the ego does not want you to know. So instead of searching, create your state of being and remind yourself that you are not searching, you are living. So my name is Morsi, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And also check out these 2 videos on the screen. Until next time, peace.